What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to the Thursday edition of NBA Live here at FTNDaily.com. My name is Zach Graham, a.k.a. Kawhisenberg DFS, joined by my good buddy, the Showdown King. Some may call him the Wonder Boy, Tenacious D. Jones. How you doing, David?
I'm good, man. I always love the Wonder Boy reference. I don't know if everyone gets it. That's what I'm going to guess 2003. I'm going to guess 2003 for that Tenacious D album. Right?
Wonder Boy by Tenacious D.
202. I'm changing it. I'm pulling it back a year.
Tenacious D, Wonder Boy, 2001. 2001, the OG Tenacious D album there. But maybe, over the next 40 minutes and change, we'll find out the secret of your powers. Only one game tonight, as always, in the conference finals, but we'll cover the 2-day slates as well. Appreciate everybody being with us. Hit that like button if you want to help us grow the channel. And if you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Almost to 5,000 subs here on the YouTube channel, David. Trying to get there by the end of the NBA Finals. So a few more weeks for that.
Jay Fricks asked me if I've been to Lambert's yet, the home of the Throwed Rolls restaurant. I have not. Okay. I don't like rolls. I don't like biscuits. I don't like bread. I'm not
really?
A bread guy. Yeah.
Not bread. No bread in general?
No.
Do you like lettuce wrap your burgers? What?
Sometimes I do.
Really?
I don't. It's amazing. Like I was kind of fat this time last year. I was up to like 220, and then I didn't eat bread for like 8 months, and I lost like fucking 34 pounds.
Damn, dude.
Because I cut out bread for like 6 months. Now I've been a little bit back on it, but I don't like it. It's worth not eating the bread.
It's like when you got you got off bread for like 6 months, and then you get back on it, and it doesn't feel good. I don't know. I've like cutting out that kind of gluten and stuff. I'm sure your energy level goes up.
They're saying Lippy punked David at the live final. Everyone punked David at the live final. I got last place. I was so fucking drunk and hungover.
Were you dead fucking last?
I got dead last in whatever the NBA thing. I mean, you guys don't understand. Like New Orleans was like so wild, and I overdid it. I met some people. I overdid it. And I made my lineup way late. I got dead last. Yeah. So not my best day, but you can't do worse than that. So it's all up from here.
Man, the payout, I think, in last place of a live final is still decent. So, you were at a live final. That's something in itself.
I mean, it's $10K, but you get it like when you get the ticket. So you don't get it there. So it's like you walk away with nothing, right? So I don't know. That was wild. Crazy time.
Cody says you don't like biscuits. He's going to confiscate your Southern card right now.
Take it. I don't care. I don't care about where I'm from. I am very Southern, I guess. I'm working on the accent. Grew up in Alabama, which, by the way,
I was gonna say, talking about caring where you're from. I saw you liking some tweets and making some comments today about old Jimbo.
Bunch of idiots out there. I mean, Nick Saban didn't say anything that's inaccurate. I mean, everything he said was true. He didn't say anyone did anything illegal. It's very legal the way he does it. He even said he might even have to adopt it, which to me is more of a warning to the rest of the league. If Alabama starts like doing what Jimbo Fisher did, which isn't illegal, but it's a different way to do it. I mean, good Lord. They're just gonna he's gonna coach till he's 95. We're gonna win like 3 or 4 more.
Dude, I just wish my football team. I am the biggest fair weather Longhorns fan that there is. So I guess you can tell I haven't been a fan for a while because Texas has not been good in I don't know, decade and a half, something like that, since the last time they went up, lost to your team back in was that 09? Oh yeah,
I was there.
Early 2010.
09 to 10 in Pasadena. Yeah. I went there. I used to date the girl who, hope my wife's asleep. I used to date the girl who her dad put the carpet in the Staples Center. So he had like season. Yeah. So he was like the carpet god of LA. So he had, we had like everything you could imagine. And during that in Staples Center, and we went to the it was the finals the same week that the national championship was. That has to be right, unless it was another time. I think it was the same weekend. I could have been there another time because that wouldn't really make sense. Must have been another time, but I went to the Kobe versus Dwight Howard finals in LA. It was nice.
Oh, that would have been a good one. T Panther said he's down to 194. Only carbs he's eating right now, 1 ingredient foods, oatmeal, whole grain brown rice, etc. He says, I know, boring, but hey, man, that's good work, T Panthers.
That's how you do it.
That's carpet guy. T Panther says rug muncher.
That's me.
And Josh says he's going to butter our bread. Well, hopefully we can butter everybody's bankrolls with some bread tonight. Game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. You like that transition, David?
Oh, great.
Miami Heat. Only 1 point favorites here as the Celtics will see the return of Marcus Smart and Al Horford to the rotation tonight. Derek White out with a personal issue, which not just because he's my former Spur, Derek White, but anybody who's going out of the conference finals for a personal issue, I would assume it's fairly serious. So, was it? Okay. Well, that's assuming everything went smooth or will go smooth. Then that's good. Could certainly have been worse. So I guess we can expect Derek White to come back for Game 3, but no White tonight, so you'll get some more Peyton Pritchard in the rotation. Some conversation in the Discord earlier today about, is Aaron Nesmith going to play? How many minutes will Daniel Tice play? Some of those value guys. But I guess let's start up top, and we can talk DraftKings Fan Duel. I know some people play on Yahoo, SuperDraft, etc. Again, the ranks are up again, updated those for the DK 2-day slate, but let's start with the showdown because I think that's where most people are focusing their action on a nightly basis now. On that Boston side here, David, on DraftKings up top, obviously Jason Tatum, fantastic first half in Game 1. Last time out, stymied a little bit there in the second half, as were the Celtics as a whole. But he's 10-6 in the utility spot, 15-9 at the captain. I assume he's going to pick up a lot of ownership here. Him and Jimmy Butler, probably the top two. How do you feel about the spend-up captains on DraftKings tonight? If you're making one lineup, who's going in that spot?
Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler is still clearly the main offensive threat from the Miami Heat, and now you have a healthy Boston starting lineup. I mean, you've got Smart back, you've got Horford back, who didn't play that first game, which means it's going to be spread out. The ball's going to be spread out a little bit more. You don't have to rely on Jason Tatum as much. Jimmy Butler he does it every night, and Jason Tatum, to his credit, does it every night too. I don't think you need him as much as the Heat need Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler in 100% of the lineups. There's no way I'm playing him. And I did that with Luka last night too, and it didn't work out. But almost every single game it works out, and to me, it's smarter to just play the best guy on the team every night and hit him 5 times out of the 7-game series, as opposed to fade him and only hit him twice out of the 7-game series. So Jimmy Butler, 100% of my lineups, I'll have him everywhere. As far as captain goes for him, if I'm pulling up my how much I have him at captain in 150 lineups, I use him about 25.4% of the time. So he is my most owned captain. And I do think there's a point to be made about spinning up for captain tonight, because you have some value, mainly on DraftKings, where you don't have to spend down at the captain spot. On FanDuel, they jack the prices up. Like Pritchard's like $10,000, which is ridiculous. You'd 100% paid him over on FanDuel. But on DraftKings, it still makes sense over there. So with the flex plays, as cheap as they are, you spend up a captain tonight. It's Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, then Jason Tatum, to me, in that order.
I don't think I really differ from you there. I think the guy I would think about a lot in large field tournaments is Bam Adebayo, because you're getting him at a pretty significant discount now, 8-4 in the utility spot there. Obviously, just an abysmal Game 1 from a fantasy standpoint, I should say. I think he's doing, really, really disappointing the entire playoffs, outside of like the first 2 games against Philly when there was no Embiid. So like Bam doing that against Paul Reed and the like, DeAndre Jordan, not as impressive. So I just think this is a guy, obviously, that produces at a higher rate than we've seen, like you said, here in the playoffs. And if his ownership is going to be, because I was looking kind of around the industry, if his captain ownership is going to be single digits, he's going to be maybe some 50% owned overall. That's where, like, in one lineup, I don't think I'm like, oh, Bam is my answer in this large field single entry if I'm only throwing one into the bigger tournaments. I don't think Bam's like, oh, that's where I'm going at captain, but it's something I would think about just to get different. Because again, you are getting a little bit of a discount there. You just, I think if you're making that play, you got to grit your teeth and get over the 10% usage that he saw in game one. I think that does come up as we go here. Let's talk about some of the mid-range, I guess, right? Like we saw, I guess, specifically on the Miami side, Gabe Vincent got the start as he does when Kyle Lowry is out. Lowry remains out for game 2 tonight. And Gabe Vincent, almost 34 minutes there in game 1, shot the ball really well. The fantasy performance was buoyed by 3 blocks, which I don't know how many blocks Gabe Vincent had on the season, David, but 3 in one game is wild. So the fact that he's still so cheap, though, 4-4 in that utility spot, he's like, I believe 4-3 on the 2-day slate on DraftKings. To me, it's not chasing, because at that price, he still projects very well for what Gabe Vincent typically does in a starting role. You don't need that same 30 plus DK point performance out of him for him to be optimal at that price. So I'm still a very big fan of Gabe Vincent on this slate, but he's right in there with PJ Tucker on the same team, who lost some time to that injury, did come back in, got over 30 minutes. So I have PJ Tucker for 34 minutes. I think he's also interesting right there when you've got Peyton Pritchard sitting 200 above PJ Tucker and 400 above Gabe Vincent. And Peyton Pritchard was kind of the value du jour there in game 1.
Yeah, so Gabe Vincent, 4,400 on DraftKings, like him fine, or I like him a lot, right? So the blocks, he got 3 blocks, whatever it is, but he's exceeded value the past 3 games. It is a more difficult matchup today for the entire Miami Heat because they have Al Horford back, they have Marcus Smart back. That's a very big deal. But you would have to assume that Marcus Smart's going to see Jimmy Butler more, leaving Gabe Vincent in almost the same situation, close enough to the same situation, or at least to where he can exceed 4-4 if he gets the minutes. Now, if Gabe Vincent isn't having a good enough game, if he's not making his shots the first half, his minutes are going to be decreased. Like 34 minutes is not guaranteed for Gabe Vincent. They have Hero they can put in. They have Oladipo, who I don't think is terrible tonight. They can let run with the ball some. So Vincent at 4,400, you need him to have a good first half to get good minutes, I would say. But I still would say he's probably my favorite value play on the slate. Someone just asked me favorite value play on Fanduel, and I would have to say Gabe Vincent there, because Gabe Vincent is cheaper than Grant Williams, who's going to be coming off the bench, cheaper than Oladipo, cheaper than Tucker, cheaper than Pritchard, cheaper than Strus, who Strus should be more expensive, but he's too cheap on both sides, in my opinion. So, Gabe Vincent, like him a lot as a value guy. As far as Peyton Pritchard goes, as far as PP goes, he's 48. Pritchard's 44, or Vincent's 44. Excuse me. I think I probably still go Gabe Vincent there. I mean, if I had the $400 left over, I think I'd play Vincent over Pritchard. So Pritchard's in the same spot as he was last game, right? He's going to be coming off the bench, running with the ball. It's actually probably a worse spot because Marcus Smart is probably going to get more minutes than Derek White did and do better with those minutes that he had. You had Peyton Pritchard. He attempted 16 shots, which is it might be the most he's attempted all season, right? Made 6 of them, attempted 11 3-pointers, insane. Made 4 of them. He's not going to repeat that. He will get time for sure in the second team. I think it'll be a little less, and I don't think he's going to hoist up as many shots. Especially like if Miami just saw this guy shoot it, however many times, they're going to say, okay, we got to get on Pritchard a little bit when he's in. So if I had to choose one, it's probably Vincent, and hope that Pritchard doesn't, shoot it as much and make as many, and hope that Vincent gets a little bit hot. But for me, every time I'm taking the starter over the guy coming off the bench. That's just what I have to do, especially probably at the ownership that Pritchard's going to pull tonight.
Not a bad guess there either on Peyton Pritchard's field goal attempts. Did get 44.5 minutes the game after Christmas, which I think the Celtics were struggling with some COVID issues at that time. 44.5 minutes. Took 22 shots in that game. No more than 14 attempts in any other game this season. I'm right there with you on Peyton Pritchard. I've got him right now for 24 minutes in there. I do think, and we saw some of this in the second half of game one, that the Miami Heat, when Peyton Pritchard are out there, are going to just relentlessly hunt him, trying to get him in switches, pick and roll situations, and attack Peyton Pritchard. And on the other side, I don't think that the Celtics are going to do anything too dissimilar when Tyler Hero is on the court. We saw Tyler Hero play a ton in that first half. And then in the second half, his rotation was much, much shorter. Part of that, I think, had to do with Gabe Vincent getting hot, etc. PJ Tucker being able to play his full complement of minutes there in the second half. But I'm with you, man. I do have worries on Peyton Pritchard, especially with what I think should be elevated ownership. Because Derek White's out, he's still going to be projected for minutes around the industry. And I think the minutes may be a little bit high in some places compared to what we've got here. How about like kind of the front court, right, for Boston? Al Horford coming back was in the health and safety protocols. I would be shocked if he had any symptoms with how fast he came back. Obviously, the Time Lord is also back, played his full minutes in game one, getting just over 28 there, 34 and a quarter DK points. How do you feel about the front court guys here? Obviously, you're paying the premium for Al Horford, but I think it may be worth it because I think the minute ceiling on Horford is much higher.
The minute ceiling is high for him. Keep in mind that the majority, I know the majority, I'm going back and looking, was it all of it? If the last series, how many games did Robert Williams play the last series? Why can I not find that?
I believe it was the first two.
He played
3 games. 3 games, correct.
So more than half of that series, Horford was running by himself, right? So, I mean, in an easier matchup, I would say for Horford than it is against Bam tonight. I'm not in love with Al Horford here. The price is up. Robert Williams is back. He's playing good. If he stays in the game the whole time, although he might not get 30 minutes, it does hurt Al Horford, as we've seen all season. But Horford could still go out there and rip off 40 minutes. Like, that is a thing that could happen, but it's a much more difficult matchup against the Miami Heat. I'm not big on Horford tonight. I have some in my MME stuff, but if I made one lineup, I probably wouldn't have him. I've got 32% in 150 lineups. I'd much rather have Robert Williams, even if he's going to get 10 minutes less. He is $1,600 cheaper, and he should be exceeding value. I'm not sure that Al Horford's going to exceed value. And when you spend up on Al Horford, you kind of limit yourself on the other spin-ups that you can get. So you're not playing Al Horford over Brown, Tatum, Bam, Butler. You can make the case for over Bam. But I want at least 2 of those big 3. And when I'm doing that and put Horford in a lineup, I don't leave myself much room to do anything else that I really like. So 30% Horford, main lineup. Not my guy. Tough matchup for him. I'd rather have Robert Williams.
How would you feel about, and I know we've got a couple questions in the chat. We'll get to those in a second. How would you feel about finding one of the value options? I guess you're going to have to find the best value for this to work in a tournament, but putting one of those cheaper guys in the captain spot and then potentially being able to get, I can throw for example, a Gabe Vincent in the captain spot and I can get Jimmy and Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Al Horford and still have enough left over to get guys that are going to play minutes. Do you think that's something that you would take a chance on in a single entry, or more reserved for a multi-entry build?
I don't think I would, just because you've got because he's cheap enough to just put in the flex. You've got Robert Williams just cheap enough to put in the flex. You've got, if you want to take a shot on Oladipo, which I don't think is terrible, put him in the flex. Pritchard, Tucker, Deadman's okay. Put him in the flex. I think you just spend up a captain tonight, man. And I wish that wasn't the case. Like, I wish it wasn't. Yeah. I wish that it made sense to spend down on some of the cheaper guys and put them in the flex. But there's no way. There's not many ways that one of those guys in the flex outscores. Clearly not going to outscore Butler, Tatum, or Brown, but outscores them to the extent of where you need them at the captain. because then what are you doing? Like, because then essentially Butler or Tatum or Brown or two of the three bust, which they probably won't. And you can just take that value in the flex spot as opposed to the captain. I hope that makes sense. But just the way that they rolled the salaries out tonight on DraftKings, it doesn't make sense for me to do that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Let's turn to the Discord here. I know we've got a couple questions that are geared towards the 2-day slate from our guy Steelers fan here. He's asking in 2v2. Marcus Smart and Dorian Finney-Smith, who had a down game. The entire Mavericks team had a down game last night. So Smart and DFS, or Jalen Brunson and Reggie Bullock. Bullock did get his 12 shots up in his time out there. I'm going to lean towards the first side there, David. Getting Marcus Smart in there projects very close to Jalen Brunson for me. Yeah. And I like a bounce back for Dorian Finney-Smith over Reggie Bullock. But honestly, like if I'm running 20 lineups on that 2-game slate, I would have those pairs. I would have shares of all 4 of those guys. And I do like Bullock. Bullock 4-4, David, on the 2-day slate, which is his cheapest price since the playoffs began.
I agree. I would take Dorian Finney-Smith and Smart. I think Luka's just going to be an absolute usage monster tomorrow. Like, there's no way I'm not going to play him in 100% of lineups again after the loss. Like, I'll have 100% Luka. When he just goes for 70, it hurts Brunson some, not to mean he can't exceed value. But and I think Brunson has a good game too. But and he's got an easier matchup than Marcus Smart does today, but I'd rather have Dorian Finney-Smith, who does more than Bullock does. And I'm going to be playing Luka, so I'm not going to have as much Brunson. And then I also think Smart's going to be lower owned because he was dealing with like the injury stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% healthy.
Yeah.
But
I don't think he has been the entire playoffs, right? A lot of these guys are like that at this point of the year. Unless we have information that Marcus Smart isn't going to play full minutes, I'm rolling him out there with confidence. I mean, we saw him. He got the fluid drained out of his knee in game 2 of the last series against the Bucks. Came back, was a little bit limited in that first game back, but then was right back up to his upper 30s in minutes. And I'm with you on Luka, man. Like, the Warriors did a great job, especially to start the game last night, mixing up their defensive coverages, specifically on Luka and giving him different looks, and that kind of stymied the Mavs' mojo to start that game. No carryover from the last series. But I do think that the field will overreact a little bit to that poor performance, and we've seen Dallas and Luka specifically bounce back multiple times in these playoffs from tough performances. I know you already answered T-Panthers in the chat, but I think it's worth bringing up on the stream. He said Tice is a cheap option at 1,800, or is Tice a cheap option at 1,800, or were the 20 minutes fool's gold? And you said they're fool's gold. He might get 10 minutes tonight, or Horford to come down with the case of COVID again. Yeah, man, I have Tice for 4 minutes right now.
Yeah.
And I think that certainly, like you mentioned, like there's some things that could have some extreme foul trouble there in the front courts could certainly open up some minutes for him. But I would much rather go to Dwayne Dedmon if I have that extra. I believe it's $200 because Dwayne Dedmon is going to play, I think, every minute that Bam Adebayo doesn't. I have Dwayne Dedmon for 12 minutes. So if you have the extra 200, I would just go to Dedmon, and that Shazam says Dedmon is his value. And loves the price on Marcus Smart on DraftKings. Another 2-day question here from Steelers fan. It's Jaylen Brown with Dwight Powell or Dwayne Dedmon versus Brunson and PJ Tucker. I would side with I guess I should say this, and let me know if you disagree. If you have Luka in the lineup, I will go with the first side and not pair Luka and Brunson together. But if you have no Luka, I think I would take the Jalen Brunson and PJ Tucker side of that 2v2. How do you feel about that?
That's a good way to describe it because both of these pairings I can poke holes in. So PJ Tucker, he did leave with injury. He's also not 100%. And then Brunson, if you play him with Luka, not to say Brunson can't go off because he's the second best scorer on that team, might not be the best way to go, although it can work. We've seen it work. And if you play the Jaylen Brown side, I mean, Powell's minutes aren't going to be big. Dedmon's minutes are going to be even less than that. I mean, if it's me, I probably take the Brunson PJ Tucker side and hope PJ Tucker stays healthy. Even though it's a terrible matchup for him, you're going to get significantly more minutes there.
Yeah.
And hope Brunson has a game. Now, I love Jaylen Brown tonight. I like him a lot, especially at the price. But Powell and Dedmon, they could kill you. Not just on showdowns. I like Dedmon a lot. I don't want that to seem like I wouldn't play Dedmon on a showdown, but on a main slate, I probably wouldn't. 2-gamer, whatever.
Sure. If I have to choose between Powell or Dedmon, I think I'll take Dedmon. Powell projects for a few more minutes, but Dedmon can just contribute in so many areas. Like Dwight Powell's not knocking down any threes. He's not getting you that 3-point bonus. Dwayne Dedmon a little bit more inclined to pick up the stocks as well. So if you do go with the Brown side, I would choose Dedmon over Powell. But I think good reasoning from you there, David, on the Brunson and Tucker side of that pairing. Back-to-back identical questions. I don't know if Not Ricky was trolling Easy B or not, but both of those guys want to know Smart or Horford tonight.
Probably Horford. I mean, probably Horford. Yeah, just because like the rebounding upside, I would think. I would also
Al Horford. Both of those guys obviously coming back from absences. Sprained foot worries me a little bit more than no symptoms COVID diagnosis. Playing internet doctor here, but that's how I feel about those two issues. Throw coming in asking, would you rather, this is a good one, would you rather Grant Williams, who coming off the bench here, we did get the lineups about 10 minutes ago, Heat starting the same 5, Vincent, Strus, Butler, Tucker, Adebayo, Celtics going Smart, Brown, Tatum, Horford, and the Time Lord. So Throw was asking, would you Grant Williams or Victor Oladipo?
It's a pretty good question, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably still, I don't know. I think that's close because Victor Oladipo, he's not going to go out and get 20 minutes, but he can get close to 20. And if it's not Hero's game, then it can be Oladipo's game. Grant Williams, he's taking a back seat now with Robert Williams and Horford back. And he is not as high a usage guy as I'd probably say Victor Oladipo, honestly. I think he's going to be lower owned for sure. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a big GPP, I'd probably say Victor Oladipo, man. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that there's a blowout here tonight. I'm not expecting it, but if it gets to like kind of blowout territory and the Miami Heat need a spark, then Victor Oladipo can be that guy.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. Even in the limited minutes, which I expect again. But if anything goes sideways, foul trouble, or a blowout, as you said, I do think Depot gets blowout time. And he's one of those bodies that if you have foul trouble in the backcourt or on the wings, he's going to come in and pick up some extra minutes. And, if you get Oladipo within, 6-7 minutes of Grant Williams, I feel pretty confident he's going to outscore him from a fantasy perspective, unless Grant Williams is going to fucking shoot 18 threes again or whatever he did there in Game 7. I don't think that, I don't think he's getting anywhere close to that tonight coming off the bench here. So yeah, both of us on Depot there, but both of those guys could also just tank the shit out of your lineup. So both plays, I think, kind of grit your teeth and cross your fingers type of options. Josh is asking, are we Gabe Vincent over PJ Tucker on Showdown? I am, but he does not project for me that much higher than PJ. And I think if you think that PJ Tucker is going to come in significantly lower owned, I have no issue going Tucker over Vincent, but just straight up Vincent projects higher for me. And I think more often than not, he's going to finish above PJ Tucker in this scenario. How do you feel about those two?
I'm distracted by some comments that I'm reading right now. What's the question? And then I want to get into these comments.
Is Vincent over PJ Tucker on the Showdown slate? Yes. Obviously, Tucker 200 more.
Yeah, I'd take Vincent over PJ Tucker.
Okay.
Let me get in. Can I get into these comments?
Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever I see here on StreamYard. Dedmon is what? Are we supposed to address these?
You can.
Dedmon is worthless. Hasn't made a single three in the playoffs. That's true. I can't argue that. It's a punt there. Smart is a better value than Horford. Horford had Lopez on him in the Milwaukee series, and Lopez can't guard the perimeter. I mean, Lopez, I don't know about that. I mean, that's not inaccurate, but it wasn't like 100% of the time or anything. And he's going to have Bam's a better defender than Lopez at this point in his career, right? I mean, you'd have to say. I think Lopez is a good defender, but he wasn't getting like huge minutes. I mean, sure. I don't think this Brandon guy's making a terrible point. I mean, he watched the games, but I mean, I'll stick with my original call there. Yeah. Smart gets more points in far more ways than Horford. I would disagree with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing about Brandon is as he confirms here, he can read a game log. Dwayne Dedmon has not hit a three in the postseason, 34% on the season there for Dwayne Dedmon, which is, about the accuracy of the statements that Brandon puts in the YouTube chat every day, 34%. I may be generous there.
He watched the
games. That's accurate. I think that is the extent of B-Cats' NBA analysis or breakdown. So get back to the premium Discord here for our paying customers.
Is this something he does? I mean, like, I don't think what he's saying is
it
terrible.
Appears to me. Well, yeah, you haven't been here for the past like 13 streams, okay. But Brandon a regular now. The Discord's been having fun. Poking some fun at him behind his back. I told him, Brandon, you can sub to FTN Daily, get in there and talk your shit.
I like him,
man. He does. I mean, hey, you can't. I got no issues with people who got nothing else to do but jump from YouTube stream to YouTube stream and just disagree with literally everything that is said. We had some people in the Discord, actually, David, that were watching other random YouTube streams that didn't have to do with DFS, that had to do with basketball, and sent screenshots in the Discord of Brandon, spewing his shit all over the internet. So he's everywhere, man. He's everywhere. We'd love to have you, Brandon.
I like it.
Our boy Triple H was asking, I know you're on Fanduel as well today, I believe. The Fanduel utility question for Triple H is Strus and Vincent okay to pair? My answer is yes, but how do you feel about those two guys?
I'd probably say no. Because I'm going to have Jimmy Butler, and I don't want Butler, Strus, and Vincent probably in the same lineup, although the salaries do make sense there. I just don't typically find that they all three correlate equally and all can exceed value in the same game. I find that it's usually either one or the other, not including Butler. So I would probably say no there if I'm making one lineup.
Mm-hmm. Let me, I'll divert again. I do see that our good buddy, our coworker there, Fast Eddie Fear, going back at Brandon, who Eddie says he went back and tracked his comments yesterday, and Brandon went 2 for 12 on what he said was going to happen last night. So, I'm not so good with the math, but I don't think that's quite 34%. So like I said, being generous. And he said, the Dwayne Dedmon take, shout out Easy B there. Was wrong. It's interesting because I was talking about Dwayne Dedmon against Dwight Powell. Dwayne Dedmon outscored Dwight Powell 13 to 8 3/4 in game one. So back to the drawing board, Brandon. Here we go. Back to the Discord. Shazam asking, what do we have for Time Lord and average Al Horford minutes? I've got 38 for Horford right now, and I've got 28 for the Time Lord. Yeah. If you can get up there with the salary, Shazam, I would rather get to Horford tonight. No hot takes there.
Did someone give us $20?
Yeah, that was Easy B.
He gave us $20 tip.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give him Easy B. Do you have a dad hat? You want an FTN dad hat? That was nice of you. Hit me up. You want a dad hat? I'll hit you up. Thanks, man.
Easy B. Shazam says Easy B, big spender.
Cool. I've never that's my first tip. I've never seen a tip.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I haven't been, I don't pay much attention to this usually, but it's like right now on my screen.
Oh cool. Man. Steelers fan asking Time Lord or Dorian Finney-Smith on the 2-day slate.
Oh my god, Time Lord.
Yeah, I would still stick with the Time Lord there. Obviously you're gonna get between 10 to 12 more minutes from Dorian Finney-Smith. But if Time Lord does get to that 28 number that I've got projected for him, he's going to project a little bit better than old Finney-Smith there. Triple H said, if you aren't going to pair Strus and Vincent, would you rather swap one for Tucker? I would rather keep that initial pairing, Triple H, rather than get PJ in there. But again, PJ and Gabe Vincent very close for me. Any thoughts on that, David?
I mean, I don't want to I already said it. I wouldn't pair them both with Butler. So in that case, I would end up on Tucker, although it's a terrible matchup for him. I don't find that correlating the point guard, shooting guard, and small forward for the Miami Heat works most of the time. So I don't do it. I didn't do it tonight.
Shout out Josh. Another $20 tip there for you, David.
He's trying to get a dad hat.
There you go.
I'll give him one too. Every $20 tip tonight gets a dad hat. Just hit me, DM me. I'll send you a hat.
Under 5 minutes here, everybody.
Like
so any last minute questions, go ahead, fire them into the chat. Single game, 2-day slate, any site. Guess you could ask us some props questions if you wanted as well. We could fire some free ones out there.
I'm only looking at the YouTube comments for whatever reasons. We got another $20 tip. Everyone.
So, David, these two, fucking Easy and JJ, went back and forth last week. Just trying to one up each other on the super chats there. Good. And again, fellas, we fucking appreciate it. You're too nice. You're too nice.
Dad, the only way I'm giving dad hats is if you DM me. I'm not keeping up with this, but I will send one if you want them. Jay Frick, like Jay Frick. Jay Frick's on this David Jurassic Park Jeep thing, like hardcore, from a tweet from a long time ago where I saw this Jurassic Park Jeep. I do still want it, but it did get sold. Big Jurassic Park guy over here. My wife did tell me. I've got a great video of my wife telling me I could buy it, and I made her guess the price. Maybe I'll post that. She said if it was under 8K, I could do it.
There you go. Shazam asking, being serious while all of us are just joking around. Shazam says a weird one here, but if he has Jimmy captain and then Dedmon as his value, would you go Bam or Smart?
Smart.
It's smart for me. Smart for me.
Yeah, you don't want Dedmon and Bam in the same lineup.
Yeah, you are locking in 48 minutes of the center there, and that's not a rule. I wouldn't set a rule against that if I was running 150, but I don't think that's how Shazam builds. I would go Smart there because I think with Dedmon most of the time you're counting on Dedmon getting some extra time with Bam foul trouble or knock on wood, maybe a little tweak to the ankle or something like that. Hangnail, right? Have to come out for a couple minutes. So yeah, it would be Smart for me. He says, yeah, just two lineups for Shazam there. So 2 minutes to go, everybody. Who do you got tonight, David? Obviously
winning
up 1-0. Yeah.
Well, what sucks is I bet the Heat at -3 earlier in the day because I didn't think Smart was going to play, and I certainly didn't think Horford was going to play, and Derek White got ruled out, and I was like, I'm just going to pound this. And then all of a sudden, COVID isn't real, and Al Horford's in all of a sudden, and it's completely against everything you had ever thought was possible. Steve Kerr just must be losing his absolute shit right now about someone coming and playing too early out of COVID protocols. So I think Boston probably wins because they kind of, you have to, you need to. I think they're the better team than the Miami Heat. I hate them both. But I think Boston probably wins, and I probably lose my bet today.
I also am on Boston tonight. I was on Boston in the series. I had Boston in 6, so kind of up against it here.
The Warriors are going to win the championship, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I called look, not to toot my own horn here, but I called that after the All-Star break. And I was looking for tweets recently where I might have tweeted that last season because I did say it on a show last season that the Warriors are going to win the next season because everyone was so hurt on the Warriors and they were able to develop that second team as much as they were, knowing they weren't going to compete for a championship and just develop that bench so much. So that's what that's kind of what I contributed to, is how much time the bench got last year. And then you have the greats in Curry and Clay's like top 150 all time, maybe something top 200. Draymond Green's a good defender. Warriors, they did it right. Steve Kerr's a good coach.
I don't disagree with you. I did pick the Warriors on the FTN NBA podcast back in October.
That's good too. People were saying, who were they saying? Suns. They were saying Suns, which, Suns are a great team too. We're a great team. But I think I made the point that a healthy Golden State is better than the Suns, clearly. Although the Suns were very good, very good.
Yeah, Easy B discovered that I found the ultimate power here, David. I got the ban hammer, and I did not ban our buddy Brandon, but I was done for the day. So I gave him a 5-minute timeout. There's a function on here that says give him a timeout. I don't want to hear it anymore.
I'm good with, hey man, I would not have done that to you. I would have.
Yeah, well, hey David, I'm gonna get Brandon to come over to your next 13 fucking baseball streams and get on your ass.
Hey man, I wouldn't have done that. I like the guys that stir it up a little bit. I've never noticed this guy before. I don't do many NBA shows anymore because I'm on MLB stuff. But everyone got on my boy Lippy, and everyone got on.
But look, here's where the difference is. Yeah. Lippy was a premium subscriber, a member of the community.
True. Yeah.
Worked his way out eventually. But just sometimes you got to put the petulant children in timeout. Got to have a little, hit the reset button.
They were you know what? I remember people were giving Triple H some shit there for a minute too. I like Triple H a lot. Triple H is a great contributor, and everyone's giving him a lot of shit. I don't like it. I like when people come in and mix it up and give their opinions and have their takes and say whatever they want. That's what I'm like, the Elon Musk of DFS. I want you to come in and say whatever you want. It's free speech.
I'll be the Caesar Milan, just fucking little spray bottle on Brandon Catch. Just back off, little dog.
I did. Someone goes, you remember we had a sub like Asfert or something?
Yeah.
I didn't like him. Asphalt.
Tyreek says he hates them all.
What's the news today? Who asked me if I've seen the news today? What's that?
I guess something happened with fucking Elon Musk.
Oh, I think he said he was like, he tweeted out like he's trolling. He's trolling. I think, I'm not going to actually try and dissect anything that Elon Musk is saying or thinking, because clearly I would be wrong, as everyone that would ever try to do that would be wrong, because he will outthink you. But I think he's trolling right now. I think he's just trolling Twitter. And part of me thinks that he's like trying to see how much he can get away with.
What?
And if they'll break the deal off. What'd they say?
Apparently he exposed himself to a female passenger in space, which seems like the most like billionaire fucking thing that you can ever do.
Yeah.
Like, not that it's funny. True. It's not funny, but like, come on, man.
They're saying Elon Musk pulled his dick out in a spaceship and showed somebody on space.
Eddie says, don't think he was in space at the time. I don't know, man. Because he said it sounds like a porno.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I highly doubt. I mean, he comes out and he's like, he says, everyone's going to troll me yesterday. I'm voting Republican, whatever. He makes fun of Democrats. And then the next day people will say he pulled his dick out in space. I don't know. Seems like it might not be true. Maybe it's just me.
SpaceX paid the flight attendant $250,000 to settle after she accused him of exposing himself and offered to buy her a horse in exchange for a sexual massage.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into this. This
Anthony says if it's in space, can he be charged?
If it's in space, he can't be charged, actually.
That's what we got Space Force for, right?
Yeah, if you commit a crime in space, you cannot be charged on Earth. I am certain of that. I need to go. Oh my God, who just posted that? I'm ashamed that I recognize those two pictures. Because I do. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into that. Seems unlikely. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I don't pay attention to that loser very much, man. He just fucking pops up on my timeline because people talk about him.
Elon?
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo, man. Whatever.
What? A loser?
Yeah, look, I mean, You know how, so like, here's all I know. I don't know very much about the guy, to be honest. I know a little bit about his background, his upbringing, right? Where his money came from to start. You have like you're a baseball guy. You got a baseball diamond, right?
Okay.
You go all the way around first, second, third, and then you get like right before home plate. That's where Elon Musk started life. Son of an emerald mine owner in one of the most racist countries of all time. Little head start compared to you and I.
Sure. I mean, sure. Whatever.
No, it's plenty of people start life like that, continue on, do great things. I'm a fan. I would love to have a Tesla car. I think they're really cool.
Sure.
And clearly a smart guy, but it just really nothing about him, David, makes me want to really pay attention to him.
Oh,
I just don't. I've never cared.
I don't know, man. I mean, clearly one of the smartest guys on the planet, but I mean, right. To each his own. I mean, I'm sure that there's been, I don't know if we should get into it, but like clearly one of the smartest guys on the planet, like obviously, he's planning on landing on Mars in the next 10 years. Seems like kind of a big deal. Has complete, I don't need to make the case for Elon Musk. I think he's trolling Twitter right now. I think he's having a good time. And I think he's clearly one of the
Tyreek says smartest guy on what planet?
That's funny. I like if you don't think Elon Musk is like an absolute genius, I just don't think you know what you're talking about.
Why do you think he's a genius?
I've listened to, okay, so first off, trying to put people have you listened to a lot of Elon Musk interviews or anything like that?
I've listened to him talk,
yeah. Well, trying to went past NASA, made his own space force, kind of a big deal. Probably going to be
money. Jeff Bezos did too, didn't he?
I think it's a little bit different there. I think it's a little bit different.
He's got his own rocket.
Yeah, but didn't Elon build like the entire rocket space? I mean,
he did, but what did he do for that?
Jeff Bezos is clearly also a genius. Like making a Elon Musk to Jeff Bezos comparison isn't like really a separation point. Trying to put
didn't he buy Tesla? Again, I'm saying, this is just I don't know his fucking biography. This is just what I've seen.
Yeah. So look, you've got the Space Force thing. You've got Tesla, which is a huge deal. He just bought. I'm not going to act like I can explain the thought process of Elon Musk. It's not something I can do. I don't think many people can. But I think you just listen to the guy talk, listen to interviews. I think it's pretty clear the guy's the guy's a genius.
Hey, he's smarter than me. I know that. Just, he just doesn't seem like somebody that, I don't know.
Eddie wants to come on stream for Elon chats. I don't want to deal with, I'm not trying to get into an Elon Musk argument. And I think anyone that would argue against Elon Musk is not being smart. I think they just want something to talk about. Sorry, Eddie. Maybe he's for Elon Musk. I don't know. But it does seem like, the day after he tweets that people are going to come for him because he's, voting Republican. Seems like kind of a weird day to say he pulled his dick out in space. Maybe it's just me.
Hey.
I didn't want to go down this path. I did not want to go down this path.
Eddie says he was going to be on your side.
Good. Eddie's a smart guy too.
Would he be a smart guy if he said he wasn't on your side?
I think maybe not. But he is, so it doesn't matter. I just think anyone that doesn't think that Elon Musk is clearly very smart. People, I was reading some of his Twitter comments today and they're just like trying to tell him what's what. And it's just like, clearly this guy knows what's going on. Like he describes that his thought process is so annoying because he can't quit coming up with ideas. He can hardly sleep. It's just, and clearly he's shown that.
That's fucking ridiculous. I can hardly sleep because how full of yourself can you be?
I don't think we'd be able to grasp it, quite personally. I can't grasp that. I'm pretty close, but I can't grasp that. No, man, that guy, like the sheer rate in which he gets things done too is also very impressive, in my opinion. I think he just knows how to execute. You are not an Elon Musk fan, Zach. I can tell.
I just don't get the hype around him. I don't get it. Seems like a guy. Seems like
do you believe in aliens?
If I had to bet on it, I would say yes.
Yeah, well, you're right there.
I mean, the fucking likelihood that we're the only life, much less intelligent life out there is super low. There's got to be something else.
Elon Musk. Oh yeah, clearly, obviously, Elon Musk recently made a statement that, and he's also working on Neuralink too, which is going to be a chip that you implant in your brain to take away things such as blindness, deafness, diseases, all things that will happen. People didn't believe that you could have a self-driving car 10 years ago. You got one now. I don't know the time frame.
Somebody who's got one?
A self-driving car? No, people
like fully automated. I know I'm just saying that's not like a thing in our society that people just have.
Oh yeah, Tesla can drive themselves, and like it's stage 1 or 2. Yeah, they can. Self-driving cars definitely a thing. And then in the next 10 years, there'll be more of a thing. Apple just released the concept. It doesn't even have fucking windows; just fucking drives itself.
Yeah, I'll see like that kind of stuff. I'll believe it when I see it because I've seen concept cars like that for I don't know, fucking 20 years. You remember like Google Glass when that was going to be a thing? The fucking glasses that had like screens in them.
Yeah, I know Google Glass. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when Elon Musk was going to build fucking tunnels under Los Angeles and shit?
He did. So he did do that. And the thing about that is too.
Weren't they shitty?
It served the purpose, but the thing about that, which I found particularly brilliant, is like in the interview, he was just like, yeah, he's like, I'm just going to build tunnels. He's like, I'm not saying it's going to be successful. He's like, I'm not saying it's going to work. He's like, I'm just going to build a tunnel and see what happens. So the thing about him is he's willing to try big moves like that, in my opinion. And eventually, that's probably going to be a thing. But he did build a tunnel in LA.
Yeah, Shazam says I haven't seen people arguing that Elon isn't smart, just that he's a douche. That's what I think. He's just a bum. Like he's a loser.
Oh,
I'm not saying he's not smart. I already said he's way smarter than me than I could ever be.
Here's for you. You'll like this one. So he recently made a statement that like he's aware of ways that you can just change, people's DNA, and that like technically, like if someone wanted to be like a butterfly, was his quote. He's like, you could technically change someone into a butterfly by changing their DNA. What do you think about that?
I think that's fucking heinous. I would love to know where he got those drugs.
Yeah, I mean, DNA is DNA. You change someone's DNA, you can do whatever. I feel like that's a little down the road.
Bro, you can't physically turn a human into a fucking butterfly. I don't care.
Well, do you believe in evolution?
Sure.
Well, then
but you
would believe that a snail or a fish or however a monkey turned into a human. So why couldn't you turn a human into a butterfly?
Well, it wouldn't be a snail turning into a human, but
well, a snail. I was going for like tadpole.
Well, sure. And that took how many millions of years?
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, like it's if like you believe in evolution, then you would certainly believe that you could reverse it. You'd have to think.
Certainly not in our lifetime. Not in Elon's either. Unless he can figure out how to change your DNA to live for fucking ever.
I think he did say you could do that too, actually.
Okay.
He said it's possible that you could alter your DNA to where you don't age or age in reverse.
You could turn humans into centipedes. I've seen it on 3 movies. That's a good one.
I've never seen Human Centipede.
I haven't either. I've seen the South Park fucking knockoff episode of it. That's good.
Also, I believe it's referred to a daisy chain. A daisy chain. A human centipede.
Yeah, something.
If you're a rock star.
Triple H says, "Did you secure a live final seat for MLB yet?"
No, I haven't played any of them yet. Eddie says evolution and genetic and engineering aren't the same thing as opposite or related. I'm just talking about DNA, bro. I don't know shit about it. It's not me that said it. I'm just gonna say what Elon Musk said. I don't claim to know those things. Someone said, "Oh my God, what?" Elon invented daisy chains. No, I haven't. I think I'm going to start trying for the live final stuff soon. I haven't done it yet. I don't like the way that they're rolling out the contest. I don't like the price point. I don't play the $15 ones. I don't play the $55 ones. I want 444s. That happens like once a week.
Well, riveting conversation about our guy Elon.
Yeah.
And human centipedes. And dude, this is, we talk about a lot of things on our streams after lock.
Oh my God.
The genetic engineering and the human centipede, that's a first.
Elon Musk 2024. That's what I'm saying.
Goodness.
If he ran, he would certainly win. But he's not going to run. That's a job. That job's beneath him. He
might run for president the same way he's going to buy Twitter and fucking back out.
You think
that's like, true? Easy B, first one on that. He can't run for office. He's not an American. Not natural born.
Okay.
Joe Rogan.
Kanye West said he wants to buy the Earth. Did you hear that?
Talk about genius, David.
Yeah, he was on the Rogan podcast. He said he wants to buy the Earth and make all the geniuses work on mechanical bees.
Bro, we can't even buy Greenland. We tried to do that 2 years ago.
That's true. I'm not sad. I don't want Elon to be president. He's got better things to do than be a puppet. Joe Rogan, Kanye 2024. I'm a huge Kanye West fan. I'd vote for him over Trump in the primary. Yeah, I would vote for probably genius over anybody.
What if we had two geniuses?
I mean, then you listen to what you do. What people don't realize is what you do at an election is listen to both sides, and then just you choose the one that makes most sense to you. Don't just go in blindly, not listen to what they say and just pick them because of their side. Because it's not always it changes. It changes from decade to decade.
Yeah. Sometimes fucking year to year, man.
Yeah, that is true. It's whatever they think they can, spin over on the public that particular time. Politicians are pretty trash.
Fuck, man. Now I have to go find that Kanye clip because I want to see that shit.
You haven't seen that?
No. I try not to listen to Kanye anymore. Like, fuck, man. Like, 2010 was maybe the last time I was a fan of anything Kanye did.
See, I think you're missing out there. So
what am I missing?
I think you're on the music, you mean, right?
Anything.
No, the music was all still pretty good. Like Life of Pablo might be that's probably my favorite album of his, and people started to fall off there. I don't understand why. And then I'm Not Bipolar or whatever that album is amazing. It's like 6 songs. Jesus is King isn't bad either. Donda stuff wasn't great. Bagged Kim Kardashian. It's pretty good.
He did. Eskimo Brothers with fucking Pete Davidson now, right?
Hey, man, are you Eskimo Brothers with anyone famous?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you call him famous. I do. Swayze, the rapper.
Oh, my God.
Oh, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that one for sure. I'm trying to think. Anybody else in the chat? That's what I want to know. Is anybody in the chat? That's a great conversation question.
Yeah. If anyone in the chat's Eskimo Brothers with someone famous, that'd be pretty cool. I certainly I got to think about it. I know I am. It kind of slips my mind. I don't think I should start naming folks for sure.
I mean, why not? 22 people tuned in.
I might name if I can think of what's my best one. I shouldn't do this. He's Bill Maher and Kevin Garnett. What?
Oh.
One of my buddies' wives used to fuck Nosha Marino, and we give her shit about that all the time.
Fucking right out of the loop. No?
Yeah, I can't say. Well, I should stop. I can't say these things I'm about to say.
Moses says, "From whom does Kanye want to buy the Earth? Who is selling it?" Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's the question right there. Cap incoming. That's funny. Johnny Depp here. No, Sean Marino has huge tear ducts. Did he cry during sex like he did the anthem? That's funny. Yeah, he does have big tear ducts.
Yeah.
I know I'm Eskimo brothers with like 4 different famous people from like this one girl.
Good for her, man. Good for her.
I know I'm Eskimo. God damn, I can't say it. I'll say it in the chat later if someone asks me. That's I can't say.
Tyreek says he knows a guy who's Eskimo Bros with Jeff Goldblum. That's a good one.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. What I used to do a Jeff Goldblum impression. What's he say? The lozenges. Here's one for you,
Tyreek.
Drake.
You? I guess I shouldn't say it like that. Not that I'd be surprised, but like you said, your friend earlier. Is it you or your buddy? And is it the same guy with Jeff Goldblum and Drake?
Oh, really? At the same time,
Tyreek wins. Him and Drake?
he's Eskimo brothers with Drake and Jeff Goldblum.
No, he says his buddy was with was Eskimo Bros with Jeff Goldblum. He is Eskimo Brothers with Aubrey Graham there.
That's a pretty good one.
I think that's a winner, right?
I don't.
Certainly beats fucking Swayze.
I mean, Drake's a good one. That might have me beat. Really trying to keep quiet over here. Would like to have relations with Brandon Katz's mother. Jeez. Did he groom your wife before he met her? 2016 SNL after party. What about not Eskimo brothers? Has anyone ever just done it themselves? Celebrity. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, that's much more impressive, right?
Yeah. Don't say Drake or Jeff Goldblum.
Hey,
All right. I think
all of a sudden it gets quiet in the chat.
I think I should probably
quiet
cut it
from
off
us.
Here.
Quiet in the chat. None of us getting lucky with the celebrities, at least thus far. We've got some young guys in the chat. Maybe they're still, still work on it.
My lips are sealed. I cannot say any secrets. David's got to go.
Oh, man. All right, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in, sticking with us. You can sign up for FTN Daily. Get the Diamond Package 20% off with the promo code BEANS. Get you access to all the daily fantasy offerings here at ftndaily.com, with the exception of NFL. It's going to be its own package coming out pretty soon. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to know when FTN goes live. We're going to head out, watch some hoops. We'll be in the Discord watching this game with everybody. Appreciate you all for tuning in once again. For David, I'm Zach. Good luck tonight, everybody. And as always,
let's get these beans.